All right, so today we're going to get into the story of DeepMind. And this isn't just any company's story. It's this wild, audacious journey to solve intelligence itself, the quest to build what's called artificial general intelligence, or AGI. It's a story that kicks off with a dream that sounded, frankly, almost impossible, and it ends up changing, well, pretty much everything.
To really get your head around the scale of what DeepMind was trying to do, you have to start right here with this quote. I mean, think about it. This wasn't about making a slightly better app or a faster computer. No. The goal from day one was to invent something as fundamental to our existence as fire. That's the level of ambition we're talking about here. It's just off the charts.
So who would even dare to dream that big? Well, meet Demis Hassabis and Shane Legg. See, at a time when the very term AI was kind of embarrassing in serious academic circles, these two guys were completely obsessed with building AGI. And they figured the only way to really do it, to go all in, was outside of university. They had to start a company with this one single radical focus.
And this is where it gets really interesting. The pitch itself. I mean, can you imagine walking into a room full of venture capitalists and saying this? We're going to solve all of intelligence. It's not just confident, it's practically a dare. They weren't pitching some product with a 5-year revenue projection. Nope, they were pitching a lottery ticket to literally reinvent the world. And they just had to find those rare investors who thought, yeah, that's a bet worth making.
And this quote, it just perfectly sums up the pushback they got, right? While Hassabis is over here talking about the future of humanity and the very secrets of the mind, the investors are just like, but how do you make money? What's your product? It's such a prosaic question, right? And that massive gap between their grand vision and the, practical, skeptical world of finance, that really defined their early struggle. Okay, so with a mission that huge, where do you possibly start? I mean, how do you even begin to teach a machine to think? Well, DeepMind's answer was video games. And it wasn't because they wanted to build the world's best gamer, not at all. It was because games are these perfect, self-contained little sandboxes. They're the ideal training ground for an AI to learn general problem-solving skills, completely from scratch. And the technique they used was the real secret sauce here. Their big idea was to smash two fields together, reinforcement learning and deep learning, and do it at a massive scale for the very first time. So basically, you drop this AI, they call it an agent, into an environment with zero instructions except for one simple goal, like get a high score. And it learns just by trying stuff out and seeing what works. It's trial and error, a lot like teaching a dog a new trick with treats. And here's exactly how it worked with their breakthrough algorithm, called DQN. They gave it a whole bunch of classic Atari games. And for every single one, it started with absolutely zero knowledge. It didn't know the rules, it had no idea what a paddle was, it didn't even know it was playing a game. All it knew was that it had to make that number at the top of the screen go up. That's it. And then, this happened. After playing thousands and thousands of games, the agent didn't just get good, it became superhuman. But even more important than that, it got creative. So in the game Breakout, it discovered this tunneling strategy all on its own, a strategy no human had ever really used. It wasn't just learning how to play, it was inventing new ways to win. This was the moment, the proof of concept, that showed their approach could lead to real, genuine insight. All right, so with that massive success with Atari under their belt, DeepMind, which by now had been bought by Google, set its sights on a much, much grander challenge. A game so ridiculously complex, it was considered the holy grail for artificial intelligence, the ancient game of Go. So why Go? What's the big deal? Well, you can't just brute force your way through it. The number of possible moves is just astronomical. We're talking more positions on the board than there are atoms in the known universe. Winning requires this deep, intuitive feel for the game, a kind of artistry that experts really believed was uniquely human. So conquering Go wasn't just a technical problem, it was a philosophical one. So during this historic match against the world champion Lee Sedol, DeepMind's program AlphaGo played a move. It was move 37, and it was so strange, so completely unexpected, it left the entire world silent. It was a move that, statistically, a human expert would almost never consider. For a second, everyone just thought it was a mistake, a glitch. The commentators, the pros, they were just baffled. But here's the thing. The move wasn't a mistake. It was beautiful. It was creative. It was this stunning moment where the machine revealed a deeper truth about a 3,000-year-old game that no human had ever seen before.
And of course, AlphaGo went on to win the match. In that moment, the world of AI was just changed forever.
Yeah, this was way more than just a game. AlphaGo's victory became this global wake-up call. It was called a Sputnik moment for a reason. It showed the world a new form of intelligence, one that could discover totally novel strategies in these incredibly complex, open-ended systems. And that has implications far, far beyond any game board. It basically kicked off an international race for AI supremacy. But you have to remember, for DeepMind, the games were always just the training ground. The real mission was to apply this general-purpose problem-solving intelligence to fundamental scientific problems. So they took that same core idea, learning patterns in a complex system, and they aimed it at a 50-year-old grand challenge in biology, the protein folding problem. So what exactly is this problem? Well, think of proteins as the tiny machines that make life work, and their 3D shape is what determines what they do. If you could predict that shape just from looking at its genetic code, you could unlock the ability to design brand new drugs, to understand diseases on a molecular level. I mean, it's a problem that thousands of scientists had been chipping away at for decades. And their journey to solve it was dramatic. Their first try back in 2018, it actually won the competition, but the results just weren't accurate enough to be really useful to scientists. And that was a humbling moment. So what did they do? They threw the whole thing out and started completely from scratch. 2 years later, their new system, AlphaFold 2, didn't just win, it solved the problem. The accuracy was just staggering. The organizers sent an email that basically said, after half a century, we finally have a solution. And what did they do with this incredible solution? They used it to predict the structure of nearly every single known protein on Earth. That's over 200 million of them. And then they gave it all away, for free, to every scientist in the world. It was this massive gift to humanity, a tool that is now accelerating research in pretty much every field of biology. So, from video games to Go to the very building blocks of life itself, the pace is just accelerating like crazy. And this brings us to the final and most profound question. What does it all mean, now that we are right on the verge of creating AGI? Well, this technology is the ultimate double-edged sword. On one side, you've got the potential to cure diseases, to solve climate change, to unlock the secrets of the universe. But on the other side, the risks are just as huge. Autonomous weapons, mass surveillance, and the incredible challenge of controlling something that could become far, far more intelligent than us. And this is the true weight of the moment we're living in. The creation of AGI isn't just another invention, like the telephone or the car. It's a fundamental dividing line in the story of our species. It's a transition as significant as the dawn of language or the agricultural revolution. History before AGI and history after.
So the ultimate question really isn't if this is going to happen, but when and what we're going to do to prepare for it. We are literally building a new kind of thinking game, and this time, the board is the entire future of humanity. The next move is ours.